What's up, Doc? There's that's two references in one. You've got Looney Tunes and The Shining. But
That's true. That's very true.
hey,
Very true.
you may be wondering if you stumbled upon this YouTube clip. We're the first to last in Nerdom. We were just nerding out there. I'm Thomas, and with me, as always, is Mike. How are things this week so far?
Good. Can't complain. It's kind of been a slower week for the
Yep.
news. But I just want to take a moment here as we jump into before we jump into the grab bag, the
Yep.
weekly grab
Yep.
bag
Yep.
on this fine
And
Wednesday.
this isn't our full time gig. Maybe eventually in the future it might be. So we do record this, pre-record this along with our podcast in one day. We're putting this out on Wednesday. So if something is blown up in the Nerdom on Tuesday or Wednesday, and you're wondering why we're not covering it today, it's because we're in the past right now, and you're in the future.
Right.
and
Um,
so yeah, but yeah, we're the first to last in Nerdom. We have a page that's been going on for a little over a year, and we cover all range of things under the Nerdom umbrella, whether it be horror, comics, sci-fi. We even cover gangster movies and westerns, so there's a little
yep.
bit of something for everybody. And in our grab bag, we cover what you're watching right now. We cover a little bit of nerd news, as we like to call it. We give you some of our recommendations. And this week's a special week. I have something in our cringe corner. We haven't visited that in a little while.
Yes.
I've kicked off the dust and have uncovered a cringe-worthy story that will have you cringing a little bit, I guarantee. And if you don't cringe, let us know down in the comments down below. And there's something I was going to bring up before we get into our main story, which is about Tiny Toons. Is we were going to create a word for our community, and I
Yes.
think we both kind of decided that we liked nerditos. Now I thought
Yes.
I had to come up with a cool name. I had combined the word banditos with nerd. Also, it kind of sounded like Doritos, the chip of choice for most nerds. But I found out Nerditos is nerd in Spanish, which also works. So yeah,
Very
I
well.
think
Yes.
I think we're Nerditos now. All of you out
In
there,
Espanol.
yeah, Espanol, si senor. So yeah, but let's kick things off in nerd news. Too bad we don't have a little sound effect for that. But hey, our first subject is Tiny Toons.
Yes, sir.
They're coming back. They're I believe Cartoon Network, and then they're going to be streamed on the HBO Max, which is going to be the Max here shortly. But yeah, there's a big kerfluffle happening with Tiny Toons. A little bit of change up that has the nerds upset, and I was kind of perplexed by this. I don't know why they made the change, but Babs and Buster were always just friends on the cartoon,
Right.
and there was always that flirtatious thing. It's like, oh well, no, we're not dating or anything. In this new reboot, they've decided to make them brother and sister, much like Star Wars with
Okay.
Luke and Leia. I combined Luke and Leia and called him Luca, but if you notice there, but yeah, this is a little odd choice, and the I guess the head creator or showrunner for Tiny Toons isn't involved with this reboot, and he posted his confusion um, and thumbs down on this idea that they're putting forth. But yeah, I don't know if you were like me. I didn't. I was a bit older when the show came out, but I was such a Looney Tunes fan. I did watch quite a few episodes
Yeah.
of the show. Now I think it morphed into them as babies, And at that point, I was like, no, I don't need to see a little baby show. But that kind of aged me out of the bracket. But I did enjoy the original Tiny Toons series.
Yeah, no, there was not one that I really like watched. But I did catch it occasionally, because it was, I
Hmm.
enjoyed it when I saw it. I think it was my younger siblings were more into it than I was.
Right.
But
Yeah.
occasionally you got to share TV with like a million other people. Oh,
Yeah.
I think your screen is jumping around there. But anyway, I'll just continue on. But the yeah, that's it. I I remember always seeing Babs and Buster as like, being together, kind of, but cutie, innocent, you know, that kind of thing. Uh-oh, I think we lost Thomas. Thomas will be back very shortly here. Let's make sure he has the link. There we go. Yep. There. All right. He's
Right.
back. Yeah, it happens. It happens. But I was just gonna say, I agree. Like there was always like a very innocent, flirtatious kind of, assuming that Babs and Buster were kind of an item, or very friendly in that
Hmm.
aspect. Like when they grew up, then they would do something a little bit more with that. But yeah, I don't see them as a brother and sister. That kind of, I would say it ruins it for me. I'd want to wait, but then again, but in any case,
Right. And then, it's probably going to be marketed for a younger audience anyway. So
right.
the younger audience out there are not going to have the same baggage as us, older people will. And I probably won't watch the cartoon anyway. But hey, if you do, and if you're a big fan of Tiny Toons, let us know what you think about this. Are you excited about the reboot? Now they won't do any stunt casting, obviously, with this new reboot. They'll probably keep the characters pretty much the same, except like the relationship change. But you won't have to worry about some weird manifestation of of Buster Bunny or anything.
No, it's kind
They'll
of hard to
probably yeah.
screw up animated characters, like, but
Hmm.
looks like they're gonna maybe give a shot at it. But I think it's too minor to
Yeah.
make us get. If it's quality, people will watch it. If it's not, then whatever. But
Yeah. Yep.
and of course, the demographic
Yep.
is firstly on Cartoon Network, so it's obviously made for
Now,
kids.
now you can screw up a cartoon like a Velma. I think was the one that no one liked in particular.
Yeah, I think that was just like, I think took it as them trying to be edgy and trying to recreate Rick and Morty with the different classic kind of,
Yeah.
just similar enough, but like just a little bit different. So
Hmm.
I don't know what they were
Yeah.
thinking with that, but nobody
Yeah.
really picked up what they were putting down.
Right. And if you're going to be different and be edgy and try to be cool, you have to be different, edgy, and cool. You have to have good writing. And if the jokes aren't there, the jokes aren't there. So
Yep.
yeah, from what I heard, it kind of fell flat in its humor and its presentation and its writing all around. Did not support what it was trying to do.
Yeah. So anything else to add before we jump to the
Yeah,
next one?
no, we could jump on.
Okay.
I think a lot of
All
these will be rapid fire, pew pew. But yeah,
right.
in our nerd. Next up in our nerd news, I brought to us Blades is the first one to be affected by the writers' strike. Writers Guild of America on strike. I usually with strikes, I can understand this one. I think they're still running with an archaic understanding for paying writers without factoring in the streaming and how streaming shows can be
Right.
bought and transitioned to other streaming services, bounced around, and a lot of times it's not written into the contracts to the benefit of writers. A lot of times they're not paid for the extra runnings of the show or any repackage of the show. They don't get see any money out of it. And without the writers, all these wonderful little shows don't get paid. Even if you're a bad writer, you still should be paid for your work if it's been bought and presented and is currently in rotation. I definitely understand that, but yeah. So I believe that Blade isn't really. I think it's the plan is for it to go into filming in 2024. Looks like at the end there. Schedule. Oh, it actually set to premiere. So I don't know what the writer's strike is, how that's going to affect it. One other thing that I will note that's said in it, the writer and showrunner for True Detective, Nick. I could always have trouble pronouncing his last name. Pizzolatto. He's going to be the writer for this, and we all have enjoyed True Detective. I know the first season was universally loved, and then the third season, the star of Blade himself
Yep.
was the star of the
Marshall
third
Ali.
season um, of True Detective, and shout out to Nick. I don't know if he's an Arkansan, but he did go to university in Arkansas, so
Oh, that's cool.
there's a sort of a tie to my my home state.
Yeah.
So I always look out for his stuff, and I've read one of he also has put out a novel and I think some short stories. He may have put out more than one novel. I read his novel and it was really good. I think it was made into a movie. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I am really excited to see this because I think I love Marshall Ali, and I love True Detective. So like these are ringing all the bells for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it my brother-in-law, not my original take, but he mentioned, it's like, damn, is this movie cursed or what?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know, but I learned this weekend too from this that he was attached to this, which I had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, like that's some
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't guarantee that it's going to be
Right.
amazing, but
Yeah.
if you couldn't ask for the best of breed for this, like,
Mm-hmm.
really depends on the casting and the story and how they get that out. True
Mm-hmm.
Detective, I'm a big True Detective fan. Season 1 everyone loves. Season 2, when it came out, people were kind of meh about, but
Mm-hmm.
upon rewatch, that the opinion is coming up a little bit, I've noticed in general.
Mm-hmm.
But in season 3, more people enjoyed that at the first watch through than the other ones. But not quite hitting the level there of Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, but still
Mm-hmm.
all the while good quality. So I just want to see this get made. The only negative thing I think was, last I heard, and who knows, it could change, was that it looked like it was going to be more PG-13 than rated R. I don't really like
Yeah.
hearing that, but like, who
Right.
knows? I kind of think that it will be rated R though because of Nick, because he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't pull any punches. He is
Mm-hmm.
certainly no Disney writer, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
To toe the line,
Yep. And
for that.
yeah, and Blade is one of those characters that was kind of his major spotlight was in the '70s with the horror comic books like Tomb of Dracula and the werewolf comic book, and so I wasn't really into those when I was younger. But last year I started the run on Tomb of Dracula, and I've read the first epic collection of it, and that was Blade's first appearance. He had the
Hmm.
big afro and the leather vest and the stakes on his bandolier across his chest. But yeah, he was a badass back then. It was really cool to read his adventures. I need to get back and finish up that run of Tomb of Dracula. It runs, I think, about 70, 75 issues. But yeah, so
Very
yeah,
cool.
he's always been a cool, interesting character.
Cool. Very cool. I think we're moving right along here. So what's going on with Star Wars?
Star
Dave
Wars, yeah.
Filoni.
Yeah, that's just a kind of a puff piece. I thought I would just least bring it up to give you the mindset of Dave Filoni.
Hmm.
He obviously he said he considers the TV shows like The Mandalorian that he worked on and the upcoming Ahsoka series, and I think there's another series he's involved with. He looks to them as sort of smaller set pieces within the Star Wars universe,
Okay.
and that he's going to approach the movie as a more of an epic event that requires and needs a movie to present itself in that format. So his goal is to make a era defining movie. Now, whether or not he's successful or not, obviously that's up to the fans and the audience to decide. But at least he has the proper mindset for what he wants to do. Now, whether or not he has the story and everything to back that up, that again remains to be seen. But at least he's going at it and seeing that he has big shoes to fill as far as if he wants it to stand among A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. He's aiming for that greatness as far as the movies.
Yeah, I want. Well, I think because they were 3 films announced. This is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good to hear. But I think up first is going to be um, the Ray movie
Garbage
first.
movie, yeah.
Well, I would agree with you that I don't quite. It's kind of like I heard somebody make fun of Indiana Jones coming out, and they called it Geriatric Jones coming out, and then the next thing is followed up with like, who was asking for this? Like, I don't. Maybe they have data that I don't see, but I don't. I guess what I'm saying is that I don't really give 2 shits about Dave Filoni's movie or the Ray one, to be honest with you. Not because I hate them or whatever. I just like, now of the 2, I would be absolutely more forgiving toward Dave Filoni if it turns out to be good. But until then, I have to live vicariously through you and other people, because I just don't have the energy to sit through another. I just don't have I don't want another wet dream. I'm kind of tired of being dangled with Luke here, Luke there. I'm just kind of done with that. But you know what? You're right. Dave Filoni consistently has been synonymous with quality throughout, throughout the Disney Star Wars era. So hope springs eternal. Maybe his movie will be on point, and it will give us everything we want more. Yeah. And it can turn this whole thing around. You just never know. Just never know.
Yeah, and Dave Filoni, he was tutored under George Lucas. He was under his wing for a long stretch of the time when it was still under Lucas. Films was still under George Lucas. So yeah, he does have some hands-on experience with George Lucas and understand his vision.
Right. Now, if it's just like this first paragraph, or this paragraph here says like that Kathy has hinted to other characters from Filoni's many different other Star Wars projects will appear in the film as well. If those are just cameos, thanks. Don't do that. Let the man have a storyline and tell it. He knows how to tell a tale, that's for sure. But anyway, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think
or a dead Wookiee in this case.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's fine. And anyway, on to more cooler news. But I saw you snuck this one in there.
Yeah. Under the door. But yeah, Jim Lee, he's been promoted as president now. Now I think I don't know. It may be just kind of a shuffling of titles because he was the co-publisher with Dan Didio for a long time. So he was in a kind of a pivotal role within DC comic books. Now they've let Dan Didio go, and he became the sole publisher of head of publishing in. So I don't know the difference between the head publisher and president. Obviously, probably a bigger paycheck at least. But yeah, I don't know how much and how bigger of an influence he'll have as president. From all the rumors and everything, and obviously the rumors, it didn't sound like he was real hands on with everything. That I think Dan Didio, when he was there, was more the hands on guy, and Jim Lee was more of the public facing, talk to the public kind of guy. So I don't know with his becoming the sole publisher and now the president, how much how much it's changed and how much hands on he is in the whole process. How much everything is maybe dictated on high through head DC down to the comic books. Oftentimes, from what I hear, comic books is such a specialty type kind of business that they often even though Disney and Warner Brothers owns Marvel and DC respectively, they often leave those branches off to themselves because they kind of self-manage themselves. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what changes, if any, happens under Jim Lee. But yeah, I mean, he knows the business. He ran Wildstorm when that was before it got bought out and pulled into the DC world. So yeah, he is familiar with publishing and running a comic book company. So yeah, I mean he'll know he knows what to do, and I can't see anything but maybe good coming from it. Oh, I can't hear you. Um,
Yeah, I highlighted a part here in the
uh,
article talking
uh,
about Peter Safran, who's also co-CEO with James Gunn. Um,
uh
but
huh.
um, um, but anyway, there's basically saying that it'll improve coordination between. And again, Gunn said this, that he wants more coordination. So like if they
Yep.
start one project, it's consistent through this one and this one and the next
Hmm.
one. Video games, everything,
Yep.
big
And
screen, small screen,
obviously, and
all of
obviously,
that.
movies are the bigger gun. Pun intended with James
Right.
Gunn heading the movie side of things. So, if anything else, James Gunn will be dictating down towards Jim Lee. I'm speculating here, but yeah, the movies run things. So yeah, if he wants the comic books to reflect the movies, obviously it'll come down through the movies on down to the comic book. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Absolutely, yeah. And then sliding on down the line, Mila Kunis denies involvement in Fantastic Four as new rumor claims will appear as gender swap version of the Thing. What? Oh,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. It
What?
seems like a rumor has it that they've called out. They're keeping the thing Ben Grimm Jewish, but they're auditioning all genders for the thing. Now
Okay.
this is a this is and if this rumor is true, it's kind of a deal breaker for me. If they put a woman in as the thing, Ben Grimm is is Ben Grimm. So if you have a woman in his place, yeah, it's no bueno for me. Now, if you wanted to put like say She Hulk, which was a member of the Fantastic Four for a time, that replaced the thing, that works. Now there was a she thing, a female thing that did wasn't on the team for a little while when Ben Grimm turned back to human, but she was her own character, much like She Hulk was. So if you're going to do that, I guess that's fine. But if you want to introduce, you really need to introduce the Fantastic Four as the original team to start with, and
If
that's with Ben Grimm. So yeah,
I
it's
I would go on a I don't think this is like going out on a bridge or a limb here, but I mean, so Mila Kunis is also very well known for her voice acting, and essentially, let's be honest, even if they do cast whoever is the Thing, whatever, male, whatever, just go with it for a second.
mm-hmm.
That's all going to be CGI. I got news for you, and thing about that is that Marvel's CGI has not really been great lately. Disney Marvel CGI has been so like if it's just like green screen work, maybe she could pull it off. I don't know, but like gosh, I'm kind of with you. Like I just don't. I kind of only know the Thing as like one thing, and the thing the other side of this coin too is how many times have they tried this Fantastic Four thing on the big screen, and how many times has it been absolutely phenomenal? None, none.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah,
We'll see.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
and
and
of course it's a rumor, so who knows? Who
mhm,
knows?
right. Yeah, I just thought I was kind of shocked by that. So yeah, I thought I'd throw that in there just for the fun of it. Um,
I mean, I would like poo-poo it, but like I mean, anything's possible. Like,
right.
who friggin' knows? All right, moving on. This is our cringe stop number one.
Yeah. I guess
Here, so,
this would definitely land on that. So I know you've been wanting this for years. A lot of fans are out there have been crying out, when will Whoopi Goldberg get her own comic book? And Dark Horse is there for you, brother. They're bringing
Yes, sir.
you The Change, which is co-written by Whoopi Goldberg. It's co-written also by it looked like it was um, a guy that writes for uh, mainly TV. I was looking for their name in it. But anyway, it's going to be about a grandma who is going through menopause, the change, and gets her superpowers. And through the support of
Jesus
her
Christ.
family and gamers, is what it said in the the thing
Okay.
there that she fights crime and does everything. Uh, Again, who asked for this? um,
I think that's a common theme across a lot of properties. Is like, who exactly wanted this?
who is this for?
Where's the budding demand for this?
Uh huh. And I asked because I was curious. I asked my mom, who is currently a
Sure.
grandmother who's gone through the change. I asked her, "Does this appeal to you? Does this sound like something you might want to read?" Because she does read quite often. Not comic books, mind you. She reads a lot of novels. She said, "No way." She said, "Come on, what is
You know,
this?"
what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like a fifth rate like PSA or public service announcement for like when the CDC or whatever teams up with like a celebrity and they do a couple of spots or like a brochure or something. That's
Hmm.
what this reminds me of, but this is for profit. So,
Yep.
all right, sure.
Yep.
I'm not buying it. I'm not
Now
sure who would, but
I
I
was
mean,
I was
maybe.
thinking I was thinking. Well, I'll speculate on what's behind this, but yeah, this is we're not being, spotlighting, being gender uh, elitist, but yeah, it would a superhero character that is in their twilight years getting superpowers uh, does not would not appeal to a lot of people. The people it would appeal to is maybe women in that age range, and they are notoriously known for not reading comic books. There may be some,
You don't say.
yeah, there may be a handful of them, but they don't normally read comic books. It would be like, say, an elderly man getting superpowers through arthritis. Which, while I was thinking about that, if that elderly man was Fred Sanford, getting special powers, with Red Fox being Fred Sanford, I would definitely watch that. I guarantee you.
Oh, I would
But
too.
or read
Sure.
that as
That's
well.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it's coming out as a graphic novel, a 72-page hardcover graphic novel, and that's smart for them to do. If it came out as single issues, that would be on the newsstands or the comic book shops. It wouldn't sell, guaranteed. But what they're going to do is and this is speculation, of course. All this is speculation. They're going to market that hardcover to libraries. They're going to probably majority. They're going to sell them to libraries,
All right, that makes
and
sense.
and libraries don't just need superhero comic books. They want a wide variety, a diverse, uh, range of comic books, so that they can show that they cater to everybody, so that it'll be on the shelves of the library. Goldberg will be able to say she has a comic book, and that she's represented, and and the libraries will have the comic book. But I don't see where this is going to be a runaway hit. But it's got people talking about it, and talking about Dark Horse, and talking about Whoopi Goldberg, and at least it's not because she said something controversial or a bit shocking this time. So
Yeah, I just don't. I guess so. Yeah, sure. Uh, like I'm just trying to think in my mind's eye, like what's the most possible positive angle for this? And great libraries are great things, but like this would be like something I would expect to see on the table or on the waiting room coffee table of my doctor's office. Let's just say that if my doctor was in obstetrics and gynecology, if I
Yeah, that
made
they
routine
might.
visits there,
They might. That may be market. Who knows?
that's
Um,
what I would expect to find this. But that's just trying to, I don't know. But anyway,
okay,
we can
and
move on.
I did look at the article. It is co-written by Hollywood writer Jamie Paglia, who's famous for work on Eureka and The Flash. So,
All right, Eureka was good. Oh no, shit. Oh no, it bumped him off. Oh no, why can't I type in this? Maybe it's my computer. Oh no. Well, he'll be back. Tom will be back. We're just hitting we're just hitting every branch on the
but yeah,
boy man, we're just hitting every branch
yeah,
on the fall down the tree.
right. But yeah, I was saying, yeah, that Jamie Paglia was writing it. Who wrote for
Yeah,
Eureka
Eureka.
and The Flash. I never watched Eureka, although I heard a
I
lot of
did.
nerds do like it, and so yeah, it
It's
might.
cute. It's cute. It's
Yeah.
like a family cute nerd kind of romp. It's nothing
Mm-hmm.
serious. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably about around that quality level of CW, maybe a little bit
Yeah.
higher. Because good sci-fi original
Mm-hmm.
shows back in the day were actually pretty good.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
And people that write for movies or television don't always. It doesn't always translate to a good comic book writer, but that they have some experience under their belt, so it could. Yeah, it could be well written. Again, though, you gotta be mindful of your audience, and I don't know if a comment, if this show was on, say, it would probably be do well as a show on. Is that Oprah Winfrey show Own? Is that still running? That could be a
I have
show
no
on that,
idea.
right?
I've no,
Yeah.
but no, I could see that. Whoopi Goldberg has cred for
Mm-hmm.
sure, and if somebody could make this into like a screenplay or something,
Right. Yeah.
I actually probably would be interested in watching it because it might be she's a comedian and she knows how to do that very well.
Mm-hmm.
And credit where due. I remember being excited the very first time I saw Jumpin' Jack Flash, which is one of her movies. But that was
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yep.
Way different world back then. But anyway, moving
Yep.
on. Oh yeah, I just wanted to cover this real quick, and then we can loop back into some other things when we hit the beanpole down to recommendations. But
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to cover the numbers for Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of folks saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have the summary here. It made quite a bit more international, 168 million.
Yeah, I heard it did
Uh,
really well in China.
yeah,
But
23 million, I think, in China, as I saw.
uh-huh.
In South Korea as well. I think it opened.
Mm-hmm.
It had the biggest opening there, all
What
year. I
about
think.
what about North Korea? No, it didn't open. Okay.
No, North Korea is
Yeah.
permanently closed
Yeah.
off to the world.
Uh,
The
yeah.
Hermit Kingdom.
No bueno there. No bueno.
Yeah, just kind of like so. I mean, so and there is hope. So like we'll see how it goes. But of course, these things, like I said, I'm not going to see it anytime soon. I'll wait for streaming. But
Mm-hmm.
I've heard good things. I've heard it's
Mm-hmm.
not bad.
Yep.
And then this one I just wanted to throw in here because we covered the Waypoint last week, which was the shutdown of that gaming website. And
Mm-hmm.
we occasionally will veer into video game territory. We'll run in there,
Mm-hmm.
grab something, and then run out. But Vice, the parent company, is going bankrupt. So not good times for more quote unquote independent media. BuzzFeed also took a turn, and their IDW had some cuts, and there's some other negative things going around there's a lot of things that are going down the crapper. But anyway,
Yeah.
just wanted to mention that. And then I think that leads us into our main cringe event corner, unless you want to cover something else before then.
Do we have our recommends?
Oh, you want to do the recommends first?
Yeah, might as well throw those
Yeah,
in there.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you had. of the Amazing Spider-Man number 25.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the big event. This lets you know why there's a rift between Mary Jane and Spider-Man. It's been building up for a year or two now, and a lot of people aren't real happy with this run of Amazing Spider-Man. I haven't had a problem with it. I've enjoyed it, but if you read the comments on this page, they're not hopeful for it. So yeah, evidently the sales for this have taken a nosedive. So yeah, we'll we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I hope.
comments.
Yeah, that's funny. And then moving on, you
Yeah,
have
I
Green
mean
Lantern.
he's trying something a little bit different. But yeah, the main writer for the Flash is I think his run on the Flash is ending, and
Okay.
he's starting up his run on Green Lantern. We can go on to him, Jeremy Adams. But yeah, I have good vibes for this. I picked up his run on the Flash about maybe midway through, and have enjoyed his run on it. He has a more light spirited. The stories were more family based, and you know we read a lot of dark and dark comic books. His slant is more upbeat and more heroic kind of stories. So I think that'll be a good fit for Hal Jordan's version of Green Lantern. Hal Jordan is by far the fan favorite of the Green Lanterns.
Okay.
For the longest time, they've been trying to do kind of prop up the other Green Lanterns, and they have not done well as far as series. So they're going back to what works, Hal Jordan, and I
Imagine
can't
that.
see, yeah, I can't see where this will go wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Uh,
also the thing about comic books with Spider-Man and whatever it is. You know what? Wait 6 months. If you don't like what you read, wait another. That's kind of the joke. Like wait another
mm-hmm,
6 months, read it again. If you don't like what you read, come back in 6 months. Yeah.
or read
So
back issues. Hey,
yeah, that's true. There's
there's
always back.
there's years and years worth of comic books. But
Gold
yeah,
Age, Silver
so yeah,
Age, yeah, Iron Age, even,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, and both Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and Green Lantern comes out today. If you're watching this on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that slides us down to your first YouTube pick of the week.
Yep, the Happy Console Gamer. Have you seen him?
Okay. I have not. I have not. What is his shtick?
He's just a big fan of video
Retro
games.
gaming. Okay.
Yeah, he's Canadian. So he has that 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 real friendly nature that most Canadians have. He's a joy to listen to,
Okay.
even if I'm not really interested in the video game that he's talking about. His overwhelming enthusiasm for the game and the way
Yep.
he presents it and presents himself. Really makes you excited about the video game, at least for the time that you watch it. But yeah, I'm not like an expert on his channel. I've seen a few of his things, but yeah, I watched a video where he just went through all of the games that he has for his PS5, and it was, I think it was a 40-minute video. I was thoroughly engaged with just him talking about his collection and his physical collection, and
Yep.
just him talking about video games. You could tell that he has a very deep love for video games, and it really shows in his videos. And yeah, it's just fun to watch. You know, it's really entertaining to see someone that is entertaining and engaging like that.
Yeah, that reminds me of dudes like other YouTubers like Comics Explained. I love that guy.
Hmm.
He gets really enthusiastic. And then
Hmm.
another video game, the Rad Rad. He just he sticks to what works. A
Yeah,
very cool guy. So like I'll have to check this guy out for sure.
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Sliding over to mine. I just wanted to do a quick recommendation of All Star Superman. Just on DC, like on DC animated. This one,
Hmm.
some I heard some other folks talk about it, and they're like, it's pretty decent. And again, goes back to like if you're disappointed by whatever, pick any random DC animated feature film. and you're going to get a good solid 6, if not 7, depending upon your mood.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to mention that in passing. And then
Mhm.
another one, I've recommended him before, but like I really like him because uh, he did a very objective, straight down the line, in my opinion, takedown of Disney and like some of the troubles therein, in a three-parter. I very much enjoyed them, and I like how I like how he calls his balls and strikes, put that way.
Yeah.
So he also covers other nerd things. A little bit more. He takes a little bit more positive
Mhm.
approach to like the culture war type stuff. But he
Mhm.
just calls it out and moves on. He doesn't sit there like and hammer on something for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
like some others. And that's okay if
Mhm.
others do that too. But
Right.
I think that rolls us up to. I don't have anything else
Oh,
to recommend.
I
So,
do.
oh,
Since
go
you
ahead.
recommended the movie, I will recommend a series. I'm only 2 episodes in, but I'm
Sure.
really enjoying it. It's on Netflix. It's called Beef, BEF or BEEF, like a side of beef.
No.
It stars I forget his name, but he played Glenn on The Walking Dead. But it's basically about these two people. He's his character and this other character. There's a kind of a road rage event,
Mm.
and one decides to get revenge on the other, and so it's a back and forth of getting revenge on each other, and it escalates and escalates, and it's an interesting kind of dark comedy. Like I said, I'm only 2 episodes in, but it's very entertaining. They're only a little over half hour each, so they're
Okay.
easy to watch. But yeah, it's and it's yeah, it's very Asian based. I believe it's all written by Asian, and all the actors are predominantly Asian. So it's
Very cool.
yeah, it's a really engaging show, and I love they end each episode with a different older music, and I've recently gotten back into listening to old Tori Amos songs, and the second
Oh,
episode
that's
ends with Cornflake Girl. So
ah.
I was really happy to hear that. So so
Tori Amos is always it's always good to hear her
yeah, yeah.
get some praise.
So yeah, I thought I would recommend that. A little on the outskirts of the Nerdom, but yeah, it's a fun show, a
Cool.
fun
Very
dark
well.
show.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Awesome. And then I think that brings us up to the
Yep, we've tried to avoid him, but we've got to get to the cringe
you
corner.
know, it's funny you brought this up because I did see it in passing and I did see some hot takes on it and some other commentary around it. And all I gotta say is that's messed up, man.
Yeah, so
Like,
says prank YouTuber, prank in quotation marks. He pranked a homeless man by asking him if he wants food. Saying, "Oh, I'll go to Wendy's and get you some food." He goes and gets the food, comes back and he eats the burger in front of him. So yeah, it's
which are,
very cringy. I don't know if you wanted to play any of the video, but yeah, afterwards, I believe he wrote on the comments of the video that that it wasn't even real. That they actually got him some food before and after filming, and why are you hating on me? Kind of thing. This is all fake. But he goes, I'm just doing edgy humor. The thing about edgy humor, if you're gonna do edgy humor, it needs to be funny. That's the key. This is not funny. This is cringy. This
well,
is very. This hits all the wrong buttons.
well, if it were in fact as he says, okay, we'll just take his word for it. Okay, then why'd you delete your film? Why'd you delete off your YouTube channel? Like
Yeah,
that's not the
he
sign of.
deleted all of his videos on
So
his channel.
so you one thing you're claiming that you stand behind it and explaining it, and then the next your action is that you delete it. Yeah, right. Sure.
Yeah, well, I do believe he was inundated with people, uh, you know, bad mouthing
Criticizing.
him and I'm sure there was death threats. I'm sure there was, because this is a very hot button kind of thing. You really, you're picking on the most vulnerable part of our society. You have the homeless, which for the most part are probably drug addicts. I think this guy in his interview said that this guy had a meth pipe with him, so he wasn't in his full faculty. Even if he agreed to do this,
Right. He
it
was
was
being exploited.
probably, yeah, he was being exploited and probably
For
under
sure.
some sort of distress, whether it be under the drug influence. But yeah, he obviously wasn't in the state he could be to make a responsible decision. He's not in that situation. Just looking at where he's at and how he's living,
Yeah.
it's
Like
just
2023 bum
yeah.
fights.
Right, absolutely. It's just disgusting. What he did to this man. But even if he fed him before and after, hey, you know what would have been great if you fed
Didn't do
him
it at
both
all.
times and didn't upload this video.
Right.
If you didn't
Didn't
even
film it at
do it.
all.
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yeah. You would had a better karma points, and you wouldn't be trying
Right.
to wipe your existence off of off the internet. Now, those people that gave him death threats and all that stuff, I do not stand behind.
No, that's horrible too.
None of this is that
Two
serious.
two wrongs
Um,
don't make a right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're not encouraging any harassment. Like I said, I think he's deleted
No
all his
bullying.
socials. So I don't know if you would be able to get a hold of him anyway. But yeah, don't try and don't harass him. But yeah, and if you really want to do something positive, give to a charity that focuses on homeless people. Again, not all charities are great, so you might want to do a little research before you give money to anything.
Yeah.
But
There's
um,
there's always the American Red Cross. That's
yep,
always
absolutely.
that's always good, and also to donate blood as well too, if you can do that too,
Yep,
or
yep.
even platelets, or plasma. Excuse me.
Right.
But yeah, like there's way better things you can do with your time than
Yep.
try to chase clout.
Don't be cringe. Be a hero. Do something positive.
Yeah, yeah. This is the product of that. Yeah, this was absolutely belongs in our cringe corner.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, yeah. We should have like a little shelf with our dishonorable mentions in it.
Right.
Yep.
Excuse me. Holy cow. But yeah, and I think we're rolling up there on the end. Anything else to add
Yep.
or say?
Yeah. Now,
Before.
Mike's not bored with it. We've we've had some mishaps and we've had to do our recording a
Oh
little bit
God.
later than normal. So
Yeah,
and
it's a little bit later than I would normally stay up on a Sunday night, Monday morning.
so
All good,
yeah.
and love and
Yeah.
passion for what we do for
Yep.
sure.
So yeah, Grandpa Mike is past his bedtime. So
Menopause, Mike. Sir, don't you assume my
menopause.
gender.
Yeah.
It's
uh,
ma'am.
it's man. All right. So yeah. So we have fun here. But yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. If not, give us a dislike. It won't hurt our feelings too bad. But yeah, definitely engage us, you nerditos out there. And
Yep.
if you have any suggestions, definitely give us some. Our current video on the X-Men, we talked about the X-Men movies, specifically X2 and Days of Future Past is our current podcast that's premiering now, which when you watch this will have been out for a couple of days. But yeah, if you missed that, give that a watch. And we talk all things X-Men in that one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like Thomas said, I don't have anything to add other than had good time this week, and looking forward to next week.
Yep, go visit a comic book shop.
Absolutely.
See it.